We're going to start our session now. So be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound, please. And also, while you focus into sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Just follow the sound. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this meditation session, we're going to practice tranquility meditation or Chitta Bhavana or Samatha meditation or Samatha mental culture, and then the Vipassana meditation. So, this Samatha and Vipassana, we combine together. It's like when you build up the house, foundation and the walls and roof. So like that, we keep the tranquility meditation as the foundation. But you put that foundation to go to Vipassana. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, there are mainly 40 meditation techniques in Buddha's teaching. That out of that all the 40 meditation techniques, mainly we practice every day Anapanasati, contemplating inhalation, exhalation. Anapanasati bhavana, contemplating inhalation, exhalation. Another one is we mainly practice Maitri bhavana, loving kindness meditation. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, those are the two main meditation techniques we develop as the foundation. And out of that two meditation techniques, our major and main, our master technique is Anapanasati bhavana, or breathing meditation, or contemplating inhalation, exhalation. That master meditation technique we develop as a tranquility meditation, and then we go to Vipassana using the same meditation technique. So then it is very easy for you when you practice yourself. You don't need that much details or information to go with this samatha and vipassana. So in the beginning, we have to be very clear what are the difference between the samatha and vipassana. So the samatha means itself settling down, tranquilizing, calm down. And also another major part of the samatha is always go with the mental object. Remember that. So tranquilizing, calming down, and settling down with one kind of mental object. So that mental object you can take according to whatever the way you want or whatever you like. But here we take anapanasati or inhalation exhalation. There are some advantage when it comes to anapanasati. This anapanasati bhavana, also called this as a Mahapurusha bhavana. Another thing is the Mahapurusha bhavana means one is that this meditation can practice by anyone, because there are some out of the 40 meditation techniques, tranquility meditation technique, there are some meditation techniques everybody cannot do that. You have to have a deeper knowledge, or maybe you have to have a personal interest to do that. Otherwise you get tired out of it. Otherwise you have to develop a different special skill to practice that meditation technique. But when it comes to anapanasati, it's not like that. Even from child to the elder, anyone can practice this. That is one thing. Another thing is all the Buddhas in the past, even in the future, all the Buddhas use this meditation technique as a master technique to attain to the Buddhahood. So then, as the followers of the Buddha, we just go in that road. Even though there are some other meditation techniques, mostly that all the Buddhas, when they attain to the Buddhahood, when the transformation happen from conventional life to that the Buddhahood, this is the technique that they use. So another thing is this technique you can practice as samatha, tranquility meditation, and also you can practice as a vipassana meditation. So what is the samatha? As I mentioned, tranquilizing, calming down, and stay in one point, and settling down. So this kind of things. And when it comes to vipassana, it is completely different. The one of the thing is you're not going to get into any kind of different or personal, special mental object. So the samatha always go with the mental object, primary mental object. But when it comes to vipassana, you get out of the mental object. Another thing is, when it comes to vipassana, you completely become free from all the patterns. But in samatha, you have to develop a pattern. So vipassana, you get out of the pattern. You completely become independent and become free. And also, you observe and without preconditioned mind. You observe without preconditioned mind and recognize whatever happening or whatever there. So when you observe the inhalation or exhalation, in the tranquility meditation, you go with that. But when it comes to vipassana, you don't categorize. You just simply observe and see what you can see. So in the maybe surface level, you see the feelings, and then you go deeper, and then you see something else, sensation, then you go deeper, you see mental formation, then you go deeper, then you recognize the recognition or the consciousness. So mainly in samatha meditation, you just observe the surface level of details. it helps you to settle down. That is very necessary. Once you become settled down, your mind become that usable, and it become that kind of like a undisturbed mind. That is where the true nature, the real, the mental capacity going to start. So from there, you use that all the abilities to observe and recognize. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, also you observe. In tranquility meditation, you see things as it is, but it doesn't develop any kind of wisdom. You just as example, you see this as a piece of wood, this as a pen, you just recognize. But that recognition is important. Why? Because sometimes if our mind busy, if you have a very disturbed mind, maybe you're not going to recognize this as a pen. Or maybe when you are angry, that you use this as a weapon. And if you have a kind of like a different mindset, you can use this as a something else. So as you know, when the 9/11 happened, then what happened after that? All the airplane that they had all the knife, forks, that the metal things. What they did, they took out everything and they start to give plastic. Why? Because even though we use knife and forks to eat, for a terrorist, they can use it as a weapon. They don't think it as a tool to eat and to cut something like that. They think it can use as a weapon to hurt somebody. See, that according to the condition of the mind, you see things different way. So the samatha meditation is the technique that allow you to see everything as it is, not to manipulate the nature. So that is why it is important. So in day-to-day life, mostly conventional life, what we does, we have no ability sometimes to see things as it is. See, sometimes elders rape little children. Why it is possible? How possible? Even very, they are kind of like parents or the neighbors or the family members, they do that. Because when the emotional desires arise, the lust arise, they have no ability to see this child as a child. Even the husband sometimes abuse the wife. Even that the sometimes people, the neighbors or the people, for a little things, and they become enemies. And they brothers kill each other. Why? Because they cannot see things as it is. So disturbed mind. So the tranquility meditation, we call it undisturbed mind. When you have the undisturbed mind, you're not going to see like that the world. Then you are completely become very safe person to yourself and for others. So that is very necessary. Look at the world today. It's not about gaining any wisdom. It's even in the day-to-day life, if you study, it is very necessary to practice this tranquility meditation, not to manipulate your mind. Just allow your mind to be as it is. Let things to be as it is. Let the in day-to-day life, just remember, when you practice this meditation, don't think it is only you sitting and practice. No, your whole life should be kind of like a samatha, tranquility meditation technique. Let the flower to be there as the flower. Let the animal to be as they, they are. Don't disturb to them. Let the even the nature. trees. Just let it be there like that. Why you go and disturb it? So that is a tranquility meditation. It is just not only you practice with the breathing. Let other people to just settle down a little bit. Even the material thing, just let things to be there a little bit. Even maybe you play football or basketball. Why you always try to make it more? Are you allow it just to be a little bit? Why you maybe you watching TV? Why you always just let it be little bit? Do you feel that art inside you? That is settling down. So it is just not only you allow that your computer, your cell phone, your TV, it is just not only that material. Deeply, when you allow it to happen, what's happening, your mind also settle down. Even your body, as you know, trillion cells in our body doing different activities. Can you 1 minute can you allow that each and every this trillion cells to settle down everything as it is? That is technique. That is what you have to get when it comes to tranquility meditation. So once you allow that everything, even the mind, even the thought, just allow that everything to settle down. Why you are interfering? Why you get into that? That is samatha. So see things as it is. When it comes to vipassana, it is completely different. You're not sitting there when you have vipassana. When you practice vipassana, you're not sitting and settling down with one thing. That's your mind become kind of like a completely activate to 100%, then you use your maximum effort to recognize. So see, samatha, settling down. Once you settle down, you use that mind to focus to, not whatever the thoughts or not whatever the ideas or not whatever the dreams regarding our future. No. Regarding what? Regarding our own inside. That's mean 5 aggregates. Form. So you use your mind to recognize the forms. So as a sound, smell, taste, feelings, thoughts, this anything can appear as a form. And you recognize it. So it is completely different when you internally recognize it. That is what I want to mention in the beginning, when we before we go to practice, that you see something, this as a pen, just in the surface level. But when you observe with the vipassana knowledge, it's completely become different. How it is become different? It is you have to go through self-practice and experience it. I am not here to babysitting meditate. I am not doing babysitting meditation. I just help you. So anyway, just remember, you have to observe and recognize the form. Form means, so whatever the sound come, feeling come, sensation arise, just recognize it. Surface level. So as example, that's why we go with the inhalation, exhalation. So in the samatha meditation, we follow this is inhalation, this is exhalation, this is the beginning, middle, end. We go little by little deeper. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, or like that. So then from there, you just get into the feeling, the sensation, and you recognize when the inhalation happen, there are sensation arise, feelings arise, and you just focus to that. First, you recognize it. Or maybe not even here. somewhere in your body there are some feelings arise, and maybe when the that with the mind there are when the thought arise there are some feelings arise. So you recognize it, but you don't react to it, you just see it. And now do you recognize the form? So the sensation is the form, and then the form is the when the inhalation exhalation happen, inhalation exhalation is the form, and in when that inhalation exhalation happen there are feelings arise. So as example, when you move your hand like this you feel the air. So this air, this movement bring the air, that is the form, the air, that is form. The sound is the form, this picture is the form. And when you hear it, when you see it, and when you feel it, so that feelings, and when you see, you recognition arise, and when you hear, recognition arise. That is a feeling. There is a deeply, when you observe, you can recognize how that feelings arise. So you now watching like this way, and if I start to sing and dance, what will happen to you? Now you are very calm and relaxed and thinking, oh, this monk talking about meditation. If I start to sing and dance, suddenly your feelings change. Maybe you get mad and you start to think, oh, why is going crazy? So see, that's the kind of like something. So rather than go with this, you have to observe what's happening in you. That is vipassana. Rather than going with that, whatever happening and going and reacting with it, you have to observe how you get it. So feeling, you recognize the feeling. Sensation, out of that feeling, the sensation arises. And that sensation allow you to hold or go with it and clinging it to the whatever the feeling. And also, then there is a history behind you, that all the histories always work with your feelings. You can recognize it. And that all this recognition is moment by moment change. So this is the, when it comes to vipassana, this is what you observe. 5 aggregates. Remember, in tranquility, because there are a lot of students and have kind of like they don't understand what is this samatha and vipassana. And I get some questions and asking, oh, venerable, what is this samatha? What is vipassana? What is the difference? So like that. So that's why I again explain this. I previously also explained some. But so then remember, samatha tranquilizing, vipassana deeply observing, analyzing, recognizing. So it is that the vipassana is not like us settling down. So what you recognize, not the outside. So the samatha, you can go with the outside. As example, you take it as a mental object and you start to observe only this. It's like hasina, you can focus to a color, you can take a candle light. So like that, you can take this and start to observe, then you don't see anything else. So this is an outside object. And you projecting and settling down with the outside object. But vipassana is not like that. Vipassana mainly see what you experience. You go with your inner experience. Form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. Once you have that, you able to understand the entire universe, the way how it happened, because this all 5 aggregate is the 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 giving access to to entire universe, even to your sansara, past or the future or anything. So recognizing the five aggregates and seeing the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness within these five aggregates is vipassana. So remember that if anybody have any question, okay, so don't go forward with the question thinking, oh, it going, no. If you have any question regarding the the techniques, and right away just send me a message or ask, and don't keep that unclarity inside you. So you have to be very clear, while I'm here, okay, I will help you. So just be very clear and have a very strong, solid, clear foundation to the samatha and vipassana. Then you can be independent. You can go anywhere. You don't need to watch this anything, and you have to practice yourself. So now we're going to practice little bit. So in the beginning, bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Remember, when you practice this tranquility meditation, especially the Anapanasati, don't go to any kind of breathing techniques. So stay focused in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and the posture is very important. Okay, don't try to sleeping and do Anapanasati. Don't try to walk and do Anapanasati. You cannot do that way. So first you have to sit. Sit and keep your back, neck, head straight in one line. And bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And then the most important part, don't think I inhale, I exhale. And don't try to interfere with the natural process of the inhalation, exhalation. Don't imagine about it. Don't try to do yourself something. Just completely allow naturally your inhalation, exhalation to happen. And when it happens, not by imagination, not by thinking, but through the sensation, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. So if you don't get the sensation, be very clear, sharp, and observe deeply, then you will find it. So otherwise, look about your posture a little bit and adjust and do little experiment. So once you get the sensation, and then follow it. And so whatever is there, just recognize. Inhalate in the beginning, it is easy. Recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation, this is the beginning, middle, end. Follow the entire continuation. Then the mind going to be with it. And then sometimes you see some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize it. So it go in 16 steps. But in the basically just start from that, and from there we go to vipassana level of practice. So in that vipassana level, take the same sensation and see sensation is the breathing, inhalation, exhalation is the form, and then out of that form you get the feeling. Observe that and see what it doesn't matter, inhale or exhale, see what happening to that feeling. Just observe and recognize, and then the sensation arise and see that what happening to that sensation, and then the formation, the your mind involving with that, and recognize that. And all this recognition, how you can get this as a inhalation or exhalation, how you recognize this as a feeling. So observe deeply and then see what is happening to it. Moment by moment it change. And in the moment you feel so good, but in the very next moment it becomes something else. And also in between this, even the form or the feeling, inside or outside, there is no somebody or something doing it. It itself happening. And it happening according to necessary conditions. So your body, your lungs, your liver, kidneys, this everything should work in a proper way. And your blood, the pressure, this everything should work in a proper way to get the inhalation, exhalation. As example, if there are a flame or something blocked in your inside you, maybe your inhalation exhalation doesn't work properly. Then you have to deeply put some extra effort. See that because the necessary conditions should be there. That is what you have to understand. And this entire body, it's a deeper mechanism. So that mechanism, it's very complicated in the beginning to see. That's why people used to believe it created by somebody. Because this natural process, this combination, it is very difficult to recognize how this is happening. But there is a possibility yourself. When the mind become clear, you can see it. Why? Because the mind is the inside this building this. So that's why the mind can see it. So mind know all this blueprint. So that's why that knowledge inherent you through the vipassana, you tap into it. So let's practice a little bit. So be comfortable yourself and relax your body and bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and later observe the 5 aggregates: form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition, and see the impermanent of that unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So deeply inhale, exhale 3 times and find the sensation in front of your nose and upper lip area. Just allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. And recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Remember, allow everything to settle down as it is. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. You may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize. Observe the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness of five aggregates: form, feeling, sensation. You may can stay with one and try to recognize the feelings or recognition, how it change moment by moment. Selflessness and unsatisfactory nature of your experience. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire this compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light, and expand the capacity little by little to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, we practice these meditation techniques with the purpose. So, that purpose mainly attaining to enlightenment. And that is our major goal and higher purpose. So, and at the same time, we have to have a very conventional and very comfortable life as a human being in this very lifetime. So, after you, in case if you cannot attaining to enlightenment, before you die in this very lifetime, by the practice of this kind of meditation techniques, you may attaining to higher existence. And also, in case if you cannot attaining to higher existence, at least you can gain another human life. So those are the major three benefits that we can gain out of this meditation technique. Mainly conventionally we have a very comfortable life, but mainly we have a higher purpose to attain to enlightenment. So that should be your main purpose. You should think about it and then practice for that. In case you miss it, it say aim the moon, and maybe you're going to falling down with the stars. So like that, in case if you cannot attain to that, and you may gain the higher existence, and also if it is not going to happen, you at least you gain another human life. In spiritually, mainly in day-to-day life, we do different activities. We do prayers, chanting, and doing dana, and doing other many activities. But at the same time, you have to think, when you die, how these things can help you. So one time there was a person came to Buddha and asked, Venerable Sir, if somebody living a very good life and conventionally everyone in the society appreciate him, and he doesn't break any rules, He doesn't break any ethics. He live very comfortably himself, and the society is comfortable with him. But when he die, is he going to go to a better place? Buddha said, I don't teach like that. So then again that person asked, Venerable Sir, there is a person and doing all the bad things, people get disturbed and doing all the unprofitable things in day-to-day life. And when that person die, is that person going to go to hell or lower existence? And Buddha said, I don't teach like that. That is not my teaching. So this little bit confused that people, because it is not what you doing in day-to-day life going to make your next life better or worst. It is about the mind, the condition of the mind. Because in the surface level, we see people do a lot of good things. But how we know really what kind of mindset that they have inside them? So just on looking at the surface level of life, we cannot decide, oh, this person going to become better or bad. So then we have to go to the condition of the mind. And maybe your mind is so good and you develop the mind. But how about when you die in that very moment, if you get disturbed? What will happen? Because finally, the last thought, it called the Chuti Chitta. That's mean in this very life, the very, very last thought that come to your mind, that thought decide your next life. The next very beginning of the life, it's called Pratisandhi Chitta. The very first thought. So the very first thought and the very last thought has the relationship. So the very last thought, the nature of the very last thought, giving the blueprint to start the very new life. Not whatever you keep doing or that things. So then in day-to-day life, sometimes people say, when the sudden death happen, like when people having party or eating and then suddenly die, get a heart attack and die, then people say, oh, how good that death, because he didn't suffer, she didn't suffer, suddenly she died, he died, that is a very good death. You cannot tell like that. Why? Because how you know what is the condition of the mind? That is not more than the sudden death. It makes sense that when you are suffer few years, or when you have difficulty and when the doctor say, okay, you're going to die within 6 months, you have a cancer, you have this kind of situation, there are people, and you're going to die within this time. So what you going to do? So like my father, the doctor told, you're going to die within 6 months, or you want to do a surgery. And I came and with the father and I discussed, and no one knew. Yeah, my brothers, the mother, or no one knew. So I talked with the father and told, so now you have a choice. You have 6 months and you can do the surgery, and then the doctor told after the surgery, don't know what will happen. It going to damage your brain, or don't know what will happen. You're going to be in good condition, or maybe you're going to be kind of like a half and 50-50. So then the father told, no, I stay 6 months. That's enough. So then I told him, okay, then you go home and then just then do whatever you want to do and get ready for that. And then I told to my mother, okay, so he going to live only 6 months. Don't tell to anybody. And no one knew. So only mother knew that. And within exactly the 6 months, he died. But what I want to tell, within that 6 months, he did very well. He did good. Little by little, I teach as much as I can, and he prepared for that. So if you die suddenly, how will you know what is in the mind? So as example, you go to a party and you eating, and maybe you eating some food that is so good, and maybe by mistake you see something there, or maybe a hair, or maybe something little dirt, and then you get disappointed about it, and maybe you blaming to somebody suddenly, because you are in a very very happy mood and enjoying it, and suddenly you see in that something little. With that blame, if you die, where you go? See, that everybody say, oh, sudden death is very good. Why? Because you didn't suffer. But how you know what is the condition of the mind? We cannot tell. And if you stay hospital, and maybe you see how the life, and it's you understanding something, and you know that you are the whatever you have done in life, it's all gone, it's impermanent. So now there's nothing that's keep no, nothing that going to be with us and holding this anything. So you know these things and you get ready for that. So like that, then just remember yourself, just think yourself. Suddenly you're going to die. So what you going to think? What you going to think about your husband, wife, children, house, car? Then what will happen? You're going to come behind them. So then remember, even you may think about the heaven, and you don't know, it is just idea. Then suddenly you start to think about the heaven, you never saw it, you heard that everything, then suddenly doubt come to you. Then what will happen? Then the worry arise. It take 1 second. So maybe there's a anger arise. So you at hospital, or you somewhere, you need water. So you try to tell. Now mentally you telling it, and you're mentally you telling it, and the physically even your mouth open, or like that you say something. You want water. I have been with the many people when they're ready to die. You have no idea what they say. So that's why. So then you need water. And then the person whoever next to you think, maybe something you need to hold in your hand, or maybe your hand hurting or your head hurting, and he try to massage your head. That person think you telling that that you telling your head hurting, but you need water. And then maybe you start to tell, so then the person cannot understand. Maybe he think, oh, you are hungry, and then that person come with some food and start to feed you. Then what will happen to you? You get angry. Why? Because why this person doing this to me? I need water. Don't feed me. Bring me water. So like that, you cannot do anything. You cannot tell anything. See? Then what will happen? Maybe that is your loved ones. So they are the one who next to you mostly. So then you get mad about them. This happened. So that's why practicing meditation, when it come to this, feel comfortable and you feel more relaxed, these things conventionally it is physically we have meanings, but when it come to deeper, the vipassana knowledge of experience and the understanding, it is totally different. It is more related to impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So unsatisfactory nature, you really understand that whatever we achieve, it not going to bring us a total complete satisfaction. So then there is a mango on a tree that you see, it is so tasty, I wanna eat it. So that's a desire, then suddenly it come to you. So even you eat it, it's not going to bring you something. Why? Because maybe you feel taste, then what will happen, that it also disappear. When it come to that kind of wisdom, while when you see the mango, right away the desire to reach it and get it and eat it, that everything start to disappear from you. That is the total satisfaction. Understand it and apply it to other things also. That is the total satisfaction. That is what called, when you practice meditation, you feel relaxed, comfortable. Why? Because you get out of the desire, grasping, holding. Because we are like magnet. We have mind to reach to outside and bring it. It called upadana. You see there are animals. They have the like spring tongue, and when they open, like there are some, when they open and they can reach to, like frogs, they can reach, their tongue can reach far away and catch it and bring it. So our senses are same like that. That called upadan. It reach far away and catch it, bring it. How far? Even there's no limit in the universe. See, Elon Musk, reach to the mask and try to catch it, and now he living with it, and other lot of people live with it. You see, it's like that. We are far away, we can reach to and catch it and bring it. See, you living here, your body here, but your mind can reach to far away and catch it and bring it. That is upada. So we live with that. So then in day-to-day life, that how we know what is the desire inside our mind. So when it comes to practicing impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness, what will happen? So whatever the feelings come to you, not about others, whatever the feelings arise in you, you recognize that is impermanent, and that is where you not going to react to it. And also whatever the other people react in a different way. When you ask water if they bring the food, you're not going to mad about them. Why? Because you recognizing in that very moment what happening in their mind also. So this is bringing you total calmness, satisfaction to yourself. That is what you need. Remember this. You have this everything: husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, and good, health insurance and everything. You have good savings, everything. But that doesn't work. Develop undisturbed mind. That is work. So how? Every day, any moment. See that there are some people, when they get afraid, when something suddenly happen, when they get suddenly disturbed, what they say? Sometimes people say, what the, F. Do you think in that very moment, if that person die with that F word, where that person go? Do you think he go to heaven because he go and pray? No, because that come out of the disturb, confused with the anger. So the most of people, that is what they come, suddenly come. So what you have to do? Practice the loving kindness. Say, Suapateva, oh, may you be well and happy. When you get afraid, suddenly you say, you know, may the Buddha bless you. Buddhu Saranai. Oh, may the God bless you. Do like that way. Because it come out of the compassion. With that compassion word, if you die, you never go to a lower existence. But with the anger, frustration, confuse, so this kind of mindset, if you develop, then what will happen? So that's why this meditation is very important. So then always remember, practice breathing meditation. When you go to sleep, go with the loving kindness meditation, with the compassion mind. And in case suddenly something happened, just think about loving kindness, compassion, or focus to the breathing. If somebody at hospital, your brother, sister, your parents, and somebody, and maybe you don't know what to do. And sometimes people call and ask, I going to see my mother, father at hospital, so maybe he going to die soon. So what should I say? So I tell them, don't try to remind their past. Or maybe why? Because you see, maybe it is so beautiful for you, but you don't know what is the condition in that person's mind regarding that situation. Maybe you had a very good time. Who knows in that very good time that you mean as good, if that person mentally was unhappy. So then you remind them, oh, you remember that time we had a good time. So then that person, you trigger the memory. That person was suffering. You didn't know that. And then what will happen? So that's why don't try to tell anything. Just focus to the breathing. Stay with the breathing and observe the breathing. If with that person die, it never going to go to low existence. If that person not attaining to enlightenment, go to high existence. If they come to the human life, if they come to a best place, some better place, with the loving kindness. So those are the most important two meditation techniques. Remember, practice, it doesn't matter. Forget about if the husband leave you, wife leave you, children leave you, you can find somebody. If this house disappear, if the earthquake happen, these material things disappear, if the car stolen, if the money disappear, you can find that. But when you going to die, if your mind get disturbed, remember, the very next start going to become very weak. It is very difficult to then, if the beginning is weak, it is very difficult to bring the good life. So look, when the children born with the disabilities, how difficult for parents, even the scientists to fix that. So that's why. So then how you have to do. Our main purpose should be, end the beginning, the becoming. But if not, it not going to work. At least we have to get into a higher place to keep working towards that way. So that's why practicing breathing meditation as anapanasati and the loving kindness meditation. It is universal. It's nothing to do with the religion or nothing to do with that. It is it's a the universal technique. So anybody can practice. So then practice yourself. And if you can practice the vipassana, and you're not going to come back to any existence. Why? Because you know the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. If your mind able to settle down with that, then there is no place to go. That is where the journey end. So it is a more practical possible way to keep going. So this is a kind of like 3 marks that regarding this existence. And another way it called the 3 seals: protections, impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. That protection means when you able to settle down your mind with that, you're not going to get disturbed out of anything. So mostly in day-to-day life, so you have to keep practice. We don't know what time, in which way we're going to die. So then always, if you keep practice to bring it especially when you get disturbed, afraid, fear, sad, worry, rather than bringing any very arrogant words, bringing this kind of thoughts to your life every day. When something break, you know, when something happen, even you hit somewhere. So naturally, there are ways the people practice it and say suapatveva, whatever happened, say suapatveva. May it mean be well and happy. So then when somebody, blame, just you say suapatveva, it's naturally come to you. So see how this, the words come to people naturally. They don't think twice. Suddenly come to them. So then what you have to do? Slowly apply all the good things to that habit and then keep doing. Then suddenly when you die and your mind able to tackle that and you go with that. And if you have a time to settle down in a hospital or even at home or anywhere, then you get ready for that and you don't worry about anything, and practicing loving kindness and practicing breathing meditation and anapanasati and the practicing vipassana, you die with it. And it's guaranteed, and you never going to go to low existence. So then remember yourself, practice yourself and teach to whoever you love, especially your parents. Teach them, tell them to do it every day. If they are old, tell them to do it. And yourself, keep practice yourself. And then you will see whatever the life, that situations go up and down, incline or decline. So you're going to be deeply, you're going to be good. That is what you need. That is the long term. In the long run, this is what you get. So then keep practice. There is no any other help for you. When you die, remember, we don't know how it going to happen, when it going to happen, where, but if you are able to keep your mind like this way, with the good meditation practice, you will have a pleasant journey. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. So during this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahan hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.